What's up, boys? Let's install this INNOVV N2 motorcycle smart riding system on the Honda Shadow. Well, let's see how this thing works. We'll take a ride to Harbor Freight. Set my phone up to be an Android Auto on this. You can see the GPS has locked in. I ended up moving the GPS unit over here. I guess it might have been too close to the unit. Now it's going to start Android Auto automatically. Shut that off for now, but we will go back to it. Record audio. Default, the audio is off. Resolution, I'm on 1080. We'll go up the road, then we'll put in Harbor Freight. Oh, switched to kilometers when I did the update. We'll go in here, switch to miles, rest reminders off, LED is on, so we're in miles. Now let's connect up Android Auto, Harbor Freight Tools. We'll take this way. It goes around the entire lake. It's a better scenic ride. Now if you have a Bluetooth setup, it's way better because you can answer phone calls, you can listen to music, you can talk to where the location's going to go. You'll be able to hear where the turns are. You have a floating button there, so you can adjust all that stuff without going out. So if I want to go home, see, you can move that. Of course, if you want to go back into Android Auto, let's see, 39, I'm doing about 40. So it looks like it's about 2 miles an hour off my speedometer. Yeah, so it is about too fast, 2 miles per hour fast. That's radar and the GPS off of that. So the great thing about this is you leave your phone in your pocket, and when you start your bike, this will come on and connect to your phone. And if you don't want it to do that, just have it where it doesn't have to connect Bluetooth automatically.
A few moments later.
Pretty quick boot time on that too. I see that blue recording flashing light on, and I think it's my turn signal sometimes. Sending me into the traffic again, eh? Nope. We made it.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
We'll hit home. So these are a great addition. You can get the bare bones model without the tire pressure sensors and the GPS, or you can get the full package. Links are down below. I do like watching that rear view, see what's up behind you. Brother! I gotta see if I can reverse that view. That's better. First thing I gotta do, put a key tag on it. You know, you can get yours on MotoCheez.com. Adds like 5 horsepower to your bike. Let's see what we got here. Good size. That'll look pretty good on there, I think. This is what's in the box. As you can see, there's so many different mounting configurations that you can hook up. It's got the front and rear camera, GPS, tire pressure monitoring system, mounts for the camera, mounts for the smart unit, wiring for the smart unit, more mounts for the camera, and the ball mount, of course, for the smart unit, some stickers, and a pretty nice big instruction manual. Very nice. So on the main unit, you have the SD card that goes in here. You have your connections that go out to peripherals, GPS and your cameras and your power. It does have a built-in speaker, but of course you could do Bluetooth. And I don't see any other physical buttons because it is touchscreen. Protective screen. Let's see how this fits the handlebars. Multiple lengths, because if you have to go bigger than this and start putting these shims, you're gonna need longer bolts, correct? It looks like you're gonna have to shim it up just a little bit, and by a little bit I mean like this little piece of rubber tape shim. Trying to see if I put this windshield back on that there will be plenty of room, and there absolutely will be. Give you extra O-rings for the ball mount. Innovv is pretty excellent with their hardware, that's for sure. Their engineering. Now let's see what it's gonna look like. Position that. I may want to put this directly on there, because there is a way to do that, keeping it nice and tight.
That's what she said.
That's if you want to adjust it multiple angles. But if you want to do it directly in the middle like I'm doing, I'm going to use that extension column and screw it right to the back. Figure out where you want it and how you want it. This does have positive lock. See it? It has like little hex. Make sure you use the right length bolt, which when you put it in and it touches the threads, there'll probably be about that much sticking up, because if you use it too long, it'll come all the way through and damage. We don't want that, do we? A little change of plans midway. It does happen, but I think that'll be a lot better being tight like that. Tight's always good, am I right?
Yeah, that's what she said.
Makes it a little more difficult to tighten these screws. Something like that. Unobstructive, looks dead center to me. Tighten her down. Solid. That is rock solid, and it looks pretty good right there. Got a 32 we'll put up in there. So we have the 2K cameras, because the 1080p cameras are cylindrical completely. We'll figure out a spot to put these on the front and the rear. Put that little rubber spacer in there. We're going to mount this right there behind that bolt. Put that block there. Put the camera together now, loosely. We don't know exactly what's level on this camera yet. Nice hardware. Stainless and aluminum. This hole is drilled offset, so make sure you have it this way so that you can move your camera. So find your constant power from the battery all the time and your switch power and connect them up. It's different on every bike, so I can't really show you. Let's see if this camera is facing a proper way. First boot, plug that front camera in. Oh, GPS, front, rear. See what I'm talking about? Now everything's upside down. There, that's pretty close. Time for the rear camera. Let's see where we can mount this baby. Make a special mount for the back here. Plug this in. Before I tighten this up, I'll try to get it close and then run that wire. Not bad. Not bad at all. I'm wondering. Oh, there we go. There it is. Oh yeah, that's not too bad. I like driving with a reverse cam. Like that when I'm driving. That should work. Now I gotta zip tie this wire away. Proper nippers, am I right? So you don't cut off and leave a sharp spot so you can cut yourself. I'm not sure what to do with the GPS antenna. We gotta figure out what to do with this massive wires. Fold them up neatly, tie wrap it, and put it in there. Now it's down where the harness is. Below these cables, not as noticeable. Now we got the tire pressure monitors. I don't know, it's not labeled front or rear, so we'll try one. See if we get it right. Make sure you lock this back. And then while you're holding it, lock it, but we're not gonna do that until we know if we got the right monitor on. So start this up. Go to settings, TPMS. I already paired the front, as you can see. I changed it to PSI and Fahrenheit. So to pair the rear, get your sensor ready. Pair rear. Need a lock nut. And then when you're putting the sensor on, there you go, 28 front, 30 rear. And that's how you program your sensors if you don't pick anything up when you put them on and you drive it. Let's go in and do a firmware update. We'll switch to update mode. Do your Wi-Fi connection. Put that in. Check update. Do you want to over the air update? It's going to download the firmware. It's going to reboot. It's going to install the upgraded firmware. Reboot again. And then we're back. To link your phone, you go in here. It's either CarPlay or Android Auto. You're going to switch to Android Auto mode. Connect through Bluetooth. Let's connect our Bluetooth. There it is, N2. So on the main screen, you have your direction of travel, your miles per hour, tire pressures, your miles traveled, and your time traveled, and also your current time. Blue light flashing indicator means it's recording. And as I mentioned in the ride, you can move this dot, which is your home dot, as you're riding at any time. Up there you have your satellites, your Bluetooth, your Wi-Fi, and your SD card. So you have your link, your dash cam, your replay, and your settings. Your link is to hook up the phone, of course. Dash cam is to look at your dash cam. You have your stop and start record button. Right there you can take a screenshot. This is how you lock a video file. It goes in a locked folder. Record audio. Default, the audio is off. This is for the different views. This is to hit replay, and you have all your videos there, which I just pulled them off for the video. And then you have your settings in here. Front cam mirror. Reverse that view. Loop, so you can set the different times for the loops. Sound, low is the best. You get a lot of wind noise. Resolution, I'm on 1080. You got to change that to 2K. Default comes 1080. Go back into the settings. Data overlay. You can have the logo on, you can have the time on, and you can have your latitude from your GPS. G sensor I always have off just because. And then parking mode I have off, but you could set parking mode so if someone bumps your bike it starts recording. Then you have home. Then you have your regular settings for the unit itself, which is the tire monitors, your time, display and volume. You can have wallpaper. There's your storage. I emptied it because I did a video. Your GPS. I'm in the garage, so I'm not picking much up. You can reset everything, which I don't want to do. You could choose a language. And there's more. That's where you change it to miles, rest reminder, and if you want your LED on or off. So what do I think? I think it's one of the best upgrades you could do on a motorcycle. There's no risk of losing your phone. It has a nice solid mount. You have 3 different versions to choose from, and I've never had an issue with any of their products yet that I've tested. If you're interested, the link will be down below, and thanks for watching.
Hey, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'd love to hear what you have to say. Hit that bell if you want new notifications on new videos. Links for products used are in the description and on MotoCheez.com. Thanks for watching.